Hi, Leroy Third here. Today we'll be reviewing Eytse's EY-200, one in their line of electric pianos aimed primarily at beginners, but there's a reason you might also want this. This may be just the kick in the pants you need to get something and get started on your journey to learning the piano and learning to be a better musician. Let's take a look. A quick disclaimer. Eytse did send me this for review. No money changed hands. They have no say in what I talk about or discuss, and they don't get to see this video before it comes out on YouTube. I wouldn't be reviewing this if I didn't think it had some use, and I'm going to tell you what I enjoy about this, what the pitfalls are, why it might be useful to you, and why I will be using this every single day for the foreseeable future. Let's dig a little bit deeper. The first thing to note is this is a review on the EY-200, and this is a short review, just detailing the basics. If you want to get into deeper on how all the features work and how it sounds, keep your eyes peeled for my next video, which will be much longer, cover all the features and how they work and what they do. Be warned, that's going to be between 40 minutes and an hour. I'm working on it now. I just wanted to give you something shorter just in case. If you do want to be kept up on new videos, make sure you like and subscribe. All the links will be in the description below, things like price and links to buy it on Amazon and stuff. These are not affiliate links. They're not associated with me at all. It's just to make it easier for you to find this if you want to get more information. So Eytse has a line of 3 different electric pianos, the EY-100, EY-200, and EY-300. We're just going to be looking at the EY-200 today. That one comes with a piano bench and a stand, which are great. They work fantastically. I got to tell you, I was trepidatious about what the quality of these things would be. I've used those X stands and stuff, and I've used chairs that are really cheap that kind of sway and creak. This is really solid, and it's adjustable. It allowed me to work at a comfortable position on the piano, which I really appreciated. But this review is for the EY-200 specifically. If you want to know the difference between the EY-100, 200, and 300, we'll have more details in the more lengthy video that's coming soon. Price-wise, currently on Amazon, the prices change quite a bit. The EY-100 goes for $89.88. The 200 goes for $169.99 with the stand and piano bench, and the EY-300 goes for $105.99. Now the EY-200, it's only available with the stand and the bench, so if you don't need that, you can look at one of the other models for less money, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, Future Leroy here. Sorry to interrupt. After I'd finished recording this video, Eytse sent me an email with a discount code in their store here for you guys. Also, they asked that I put their description in my YouTube description just to give more information on their product in text, which I've done. I put it between 2 asterisks so you can see where their product description ends and where my description begins. Again, we want to thank Eytse for their support. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Who is this aimed at? Primarily, it looks like this is aimed at beginners and children, but I would say specifically, this is for anybody who wants to learn to play the piano. You've been there, I've been there. We see a video on YouTube and think, I should do that. I should get this and learn to do this. We save our money, we buy the thing, and then it just collects dust and we never use it. We use it for a week or so, it just sits there, right? This is a great way for anybody to start playing the piano right away. And honestly, at the price point, their keyboards alone are around $100. You can't get anything else in this price range that's going to be at this quality. Even just a MIDI controller at 61 keys is going to run you many times the price of this keyboard that's self-contained. I would say that this is for anybody who is not sure if they have the discipline or the desire or the drive to sit down every day and play the piano, right? Spend your $100 or your $170 on this kit, and in a couple of months, revisit, see if you're using it and playing it. If you are, great, save for something that's a little more maybe expressive or has higher quality or different features. But this gives you all the things you need to work right from the beginning. And for me, having an adjustable chair and stand is fantastic. My body has weird proportions, right? Like I have super long legs, really short arms, and a short torso. So finding something where my hands can be at the proper position and my legs can be at the proper position is challenging. The combination of all the chairs and tables and desks I have in my apartment, none of them work with a MIDI controller. And the biggest MIDI controller I have is 37 keys. That's just not enough. This thing fits the need for me to have something to sit down and play the piano on. And I've found it to be great for that purpose. There are some pros and cons. We'll go over those. But first, let's take a look at the basic features. The EY-200, it comes with it's a 61 key digital piano. It has 300 sounds, 300 rhythms, 50 songs for teaching modes, which we'll talk about in a longer video. It comes with a piano bench and a stand, which are far sturdier than I thought they would be. And it has a metronome. It has auxiliary in for playing like accompaniment if you're working on your piano skills. It also has a microphone that it comes with, and it has speakers, and it comes with headphones as well. Those are the basic features of this thing. I should mention that it is polyphonic, but has 8-note polyphony. That's pretty standard. You know, if you're looking to play piano specifically, that's probably enough. There are some pros and cons. Let's take a look at those really quick before I tell you whether I recommend this and who I recommend this to. All right, so here are the basic pros and cons. First of all, the biggest pro is the price. At the price these keyboards come in at, it's basically an impulse buy, right? I mean, when I was a kid growing up, I didn't have access to a keyboard at all. By the time I got to college, I didn't even know what the names of the keys were. I didn't know how chords worked. I was shaky on harmony and melody and rhythm. Just catching up as a music major in the first couple of years was mind-blowingly hard. I would have loved to have something like this as a kid or in high school or even in college just to practice my piano work without having to go down to a practice room and hope there was one available. You know what I mean? So the biggest pro is the price. You can buy this if you decide that it's not for you, you don't want to play the piano, you haven't broken the bank, right? The basic levels that you're looking at with digital self-contained pianos these days are, you know, under $150, which this fits in, from $150 to maybe $400, and then from $400 to $800. Those are the beginner, intermediate style, and each of these categories will give you a huge jump up in features and quality. But while you're saving for those, if you don't have something to play, I would say it's a great idea to get something like this because it's so inexpensive, and then while you're still practicing and playing, you can be saving for something that's a little more expressive and has more of the features that you may be looking for, maybe has better sounds, right? I could save for years to buy something from Yamaha or Alesis that costs, you know, $600-800. It's going to take me years. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here just twiddling my thumbs going, I wish I had something to practice on. Instead, if you spend, you know, your $100, $150 on sale for the kit, you can sit down, turn this on, and start playing immediately. You can play scales. You can work on hand independence and finger independence. You can work up your stamina and your muscles in your forearm and your hand. You can work on ear training. You can work on a rhythm. You're playing with a metronome especially. It's fantastic for all of these things. Those are the biggest pros, is you have something to work with right now. And it's inexpensive enough that, I mean, these days, it's almost the price of buying your family a meal at McDonald's, right? Prices are ridiculous. So it is perfect to just sit down and start playing immediately. So what are the cons? First of all, this is the big elephant in the room for me, at least. It's not velocity sensitive. So when you hit a key, if you hit it softly or loudly, it sounds exactly the same. And velocity sensitivity is one of the big ways for expression on a piano. And even when you first start, you're going to be learning about dynamics in the books or with your teacher, and you can't do dynamics with this at all. Now, that's standard in this price range. I assume it's because making sensors for 61 different keys to sense velocity would increase the budget a lot. I mean, just look at 61 key MIDI controllers that have no internals, make no sounds on their own, require a computer and software. They're going to cost several times what these cost. This, completely self-contained. You sit down, you push a button, you're playing. And I love that. I love self-contained devices anyway. I have an old cell phone I use as a digital audio player that just has all of my CDs in FLAC format, right? I'll listen to that when I want to listen to music. Sorry. And for reading, I'll break out my Kindle. It's a 10-year-old Kindle. It's an e-ink device. I can sit there and just read that. It's not connected to the internet. It doesn't have any ads. It doesn't have any other applications. It's just for reading. Instead of sitting on the computer, burning up, you know, the screen time for my seizures and getting distracted by other apps and emails and stuff, being able to just sit down, turn this on, and begin playing right away is mind-blowing in how it relates to productivity, and I love that. So what are the other cons? This may seem like a weird one, but the headphone out is really loud. Even at the lowest setting, it's so loud, I have to take their headphones, put them off of my ears, like behind my ears. It's just too loud, and I believe it could probably cause ear damage if you did this regularly. So for me, that's a big con. However, it's easy to fix. I have a little headphone splitter I bring with me when I go out with my hardware. So if people see me working on my hardware in the library or the mall or something, and they're like, hey, guy, what is that? I love showing people stuff, right? So I'll break this out. It has a little headphone splitter, and I bring a package of brand new $1 wired headphones, and I'll give them one and say, let me show you, right? But on this little headphone splitter, it has volume controls for each of the headphones. So all I did was stick one of those in the headphone out on the EY-200, and then I just turn it down. I turn the unit on, and it goes to the default volume, which is in the middle. I set it down to the lowest anyway, but it's in the middle, so I just lower the volume to where it's comfortable when I turn it right on. So now I just turn it on, it's at a perfect volume, I can start playing right away, and it's great. So it is a con, but it's pretty easy to fix. You could also use the internal speakers, which are actually pretty good. And that would kind of solve the problem as well. But yeah, the amplification in the output is just too loud. Not a problem you hear a whole lot, but it's pretty easy to fix. Do I recommend this, and why? I absolutely do. I wouldn't be here talking to you and reviewing this if I didn't believe this filled a need and it was something that was usable. Yes, the velocity sensitivity is a little frustrating, but there are so many other aspects to learning to play the piano that don't require velocity sensitivity. I mean, sit there and do your hand exercises, right, on the keyboard to build up your control of your fourth and fifth finger. You don't need velocity sensitivity for that. You don't need velocity sensitivity for doing your scales or playing basic songs. So I believe this is exceptional, especially if you're not sure you're going to have the discipline and the drive to sit there and actually play this every day, while you're saving for something that maybe more expressive, have better sounds, more polyphony, maybe does separate tracks and a sequencer, all of these crazy bells and whistles that we love as hardware guys. This gives you something to work with. And I wholeheartedly believe that every person who's a musician should have some sort of piano-based instrument in their house and should learn the basics of this. Not only does learning the piano teach you more about music, about chords and harmony and rhythm, by using both of your hands and all of your fingers independently, it just starts supercharging your brain. It's like putting your brain on steroids. Being able to do these things on the piano translates almost immediately into real-world application on every other piece of hardware you have. So I recommend this as something that is easy to afford, and it's not something that requires you to save for a long time to afford. It gives you the ability to really work on these skills and to dive more deeply into the things that you love about music. So below, again, will be the links in the description, just Amazon links, not affiliate links, not associated with me at all. Check this out. Give it a thumbs up if you like these videos. Maybe we'll have some more hardware in the future to look at. And do keep your eye out for the longer video where I'll dive into all of the features, the teaching mode, the rhythms, the tones. We'll look at everything this has to offer in more depth and detail. If you are looking to spend that $100 and you're not quite sure yet what this has to offer you, we'll talk about that more, but it's probably going to be 40 minutes to an hour long, so buckle up. Anyway, this was for Eytse's EY-200 digital piano bundle kit. And I've been Leroy Third. If you like these videos, thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. Go out and make something interesting today that you can share with other people. Bye, guys.